Hello, welcome to Nita Crochets. I am Anita and the hook is my magic wand. Please subscribe to my channel for gorgeous content. I am going to be sharing with you guys how to make this simple crochet summer top. And in blue here, it's worked in size 2 yarn, which is lightweight yarn. And here in black, it's worked in size 4 yarn, which is the chunky yarn. All right. So in this tutorial, I'm going to be sharing with you how to work this very same top with those kinds of yarn. All right, with size 2 yarn you make sure you double your strands, and with size 4 yarn you won't be doubling your strands, but I'll show you what to do to have the same result. Size 2 yarn is perfect for small sizes and for bikinis because you don't want it to get in the water and get saggy, and size 4 is perfect for crop tops and for people with larger busts. So let's get started. So I'm going to get my yarn and make a slip knot. I'll insert my hook into the loop just like that, and I'm going to chain 20 plus 1. all right, so it is up to you to either increase the number of foundation chains you work for your top. The more chains that you work, the more longer it's going to be. All right, I needed mine to be a crop top, that's why I'm working 20 chains, but you can work more than that. All right, so just work your chains until you have them complete, and right here I'll add the 1 chain that I said. Into the second chain stitch from the hook, I'll work a single crochet, and I'm going to work 1 single crochet into every stitch until I come to the end of my row. Okay, but then if you're working with the other type of yarn like the size 2 yarn and you're doubling your strands, you are going to have to work half double crochets instead of single crochets. Why? Because it will give you some sort of like maybe gauge for your stitches, let me say, and also to have your project done completely, also some kind of thickness, because that kind of yarn is really thin. Okay, so for you guys, you will just have to do to follow the very same stitch pattern, but just work with half double crochets, while those ones working with size 4 yarn, size 4 or size 3 yarn, you're going to just be working single crochets. So I'm going to do that until I come to the end of my row. You must have 20 stitches at the end of your row, or whether you started with 31 stitches, chain stitches, you must have 30 stitches at the end of your row. So I'm going to work my last single crochet, and I have my first row complete. So basically this is how my work looks like. So you are going to have to chain 1 and turn your work. Now into the first stitch you work your single crochet, and you're going to be working 1 single crochet into every stitch all the way until you get at the end of the row. And that's where we are going to start working our very first tier. I am going to be calling them tiers because I really don't see any other name I'm going to give that. So I'm going to get back once you have all your stitches complete and then show you how to start working the tiers. So I'm right here. I'm going to work my last single crochet of the row. So to start my very first tier, I am going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Sorry, I chained 4, but I'm going to chain 3, so I'll take off 1, and now turn my work into the second chain stitch from the hook. I'm going to work a single crochet and work 1 single crochet into the next stitch, and I'm going to continue working 1 single crochet into every stitch all the way until I get down. So basically on this row you must have 22 stitches because we have added 2 stitches on the row or on our project. That's for our very first tier. So for those working with half double crochet, you will have to chain 4 so that the 2 stitches, the 2 chain stitches don't act as a stitch. Okay, and then the other 2 is where you're going to have your 2 half double crochets. So work this until you're down below, then I'm going to meet you there and show you what to do. Now right here into my very last stitch, I'm going to work my single crochet, and here I'll chain 1 and turn my work. Now for this row, it's not going to be any different. I'll work a single crochet in the very first stitch, and then I will continue working 1 single crochet into every stitch until I come to the end of my row. Remember, I told you for this row you must have 22 stitches. Just make sure that that's the exact number of stitches that you have once at the end of your row. So I'm going to meet you there once you have all your stitches complete, and I'll show you how we work the next tier. As you can see, this is my very last stitch, so I'll work my last single crochet, and this is how my work looks like so far. Okay, now I'm going to work my second tier, and here I am not going to do anything very different. I'll chain 3 and turn my work. Into the second chain stitch from the hook, I'll work a single crochet, and then I'll work 1 single crochet into the next stitch as well, and then work 1 single crochet into every stitch until I come to the end of my row. And this time I must have 24 stitches once I am at the bottom of my work. So I'm going to let you guys work your stitches all the way until you get down, and I'll meet you there and then show you how to work the next row. And I'm right at the end, so I'll work my last stitch, chain 1 and turn my work. As you can see, this is how it looks like. This is my third tier, and I'm going to work 1 single crochet into the very first stitch. Do the very same thing for the next stitches until I get back all the way up where I started my tier. So make sure you have 24 stitches once you get back up. So I'm going to let you guys just work your stitches because I know this is a very simple pattern. So let me meet you there and show you what to do next. There we have it. So this is what it looks like, and for every tier we are going to be having 2 rows. Okay, now I'm going to chain 3, turn my work, work 1 single crochet into the second chain stitch from the hook, and then continue working 1 single crochet into every stitch all the way down, and you must have 26 stitches once you come to the end of your row. So basically this is what we are going to do exactly for every tier. I'm just going to get back and explain to you how many tiers you must have and all that. I may not give you a specific number, but let me get back and tell you that once you have your tier, this tier complete. So I'm at the end of my row and I've chained 1. That's how it looks like. So I'm going to work my stitches going back all the way up because I said we must have 2 rows for every tier. So just work 1 single crochet into every stitch and get all the way back up. Okay. So this is my last stitch, and I have so far 4 tiers. I'm going to chain 3, turn my work, and I'm going to do the very same thing to work this tier. So I'm just going to work 2 more tiers following exactly what we have been doing. All right, and once I have my 2 tiers complete, basically let me just work this 1 tier, and then the other is going to be worked halfway. So instead of me having 2 rows, I'm going to have 1 row instead. Okay, so let me just walk you through exactly what I'm going to be doing, and then I'll get back and show you how it looks like and why I did that. So I haven't worked the second row for this tier. This is just 1 row, and that's how it looks like. So basically the number of rows you work is the more wide it's going to be, but also the more rows you work, the more tiers you work, the more long it's going to be at the peak, and that's not what we want. because this is in position to stretch out, okay, to stretch out vertically and also stretch out horizontally, because it's going to have a crisscross closure at the back. So this is in position to stretch. You must keep that in mind, so you just don't work so many rows or so many tiers. If you're working for sizes large, I would really do advise that you work with the double crochet stitch instead of half double crochet or single crochet, okay, so that you just have a few tiers, but also your work is wide enough to cover your bust. I am currently working the second row for this tier because I had only worked one row. But again, if you are working for sizes large, I advise you work with the double crochet stitch instead of the half double crochet or single crochet stitch. The single crochet is best for sizes small and medium, and more so if they are working with size 4 yarn. And the half double crochet is very good for sizes small and medium when they are working with size 2 yarn and they have doubled their strands. So don't work so many tiers, because when you get your strap to tie it all the way at the back of your neck, the peak of your breast cup, or let me say the peak of your bralette, is going to be high up, okay? But also, the more tiers you make, the more wide your cleavage is going to be. So you'll see that when you tie your work, there is a way it will, like the cleavage of your bralette is going to be like wide, and you'll find that the strap that is at the peak of your work is going to be like all the way close to the armpits, and that's not what we want. We want it at the center and to go all the way at the center of your shoulders, okay? So this is it. I have my second row complete, and now I am going to work this tier for my strap for this top, okay? So I'll chain 3, turn my work a single crochet into the second chain stitch from the hook, and then work my single crochets the way I have been doing all the way until I get down at the end of my row. The only difference about this row is about this tier is I'm going to only be working 1 row for this tier, not 2 rows as initially. So I'm going to let you guys work your row until you come to the end of it, and then I'm going to get back and show you the difference that it is going to have for the next row or the next tier, all right? So I work my last stitch, and as you can see, this is where my strap is going to go, because this is the peak of my top, like the peak of my breast, or I don't know what to call it, but that's the peak of one of my breasts. So I'm going to chain 1, turn my work a single crochet into every stitch until I have 2 stitches left to end the row, okay? So I'm going to meet you guys once you have 2 stitches left to end the row, and then I'll show you why it is so. So right here I am almost close to having 2 stitches, and I want to match this last tier. I want them to be on the same level. That's why I said we should work our single crochets until we have like 2 stitches left to end the row, so that they are of the same height. Just right there, as you can see, I work into that stitch, which is my last stitch. So you see that we are on the same level with the previous tier that we worked before this one that is for the strap. So I'm going to chain 1, turn my work, and work 1 single crochet into every stitch until I come to the end of my row. So basically this is to work the second row for this tier before I start working my next tier. And now you can see that I am leveling down, all right? I am leveling down on the tiers because I have reached the top tier where my strap is going to be. So I am going to be leveling down, and I'm going to meet you at the end of the row and show you what to do. So you can see I have my second row complete. So to work my next tier, I'll chain one, turn my work 1 single crochet into every stitch all the way up until I have 2 stitches left to end the row. So basically I'm going to work all the stitches and leave 2 stitches unworked. That's at the top of the row. So let me let you guys work this until you get there, and I'm going to get back and show you what to do next. So as you see, I am right here, almost close to the stitch. I have like 1 stitch left because now there are 3 and I want them to be on the same level with this. So I am going to work my last stitch, which has to be that one there, so that I have just 2 stitches unworked. All right, so you see they're of the same level with this tier, and I'm going to chain 1 and turn my work. I will work 1 single crochet into every stitch until the end of the row. So this is the second row for this tier. Now I'm not going to be working the next rows on your own or the next tiers on your own, because it is much more easier to level down than to level up, and I feel like now you know the whole knowledge about leveling down your tiers. So I'm going to let you guys level down until you have 20 stitches that you started your row with. Okay, so you're going to level down the very same number of tiers that you had when going up, and now when you have 20 stitches, that's why I'm going to get back and then show you what to do. So just remember to chain 1, turn your work your single crochets until you have 2 stitches left to end the row, and there you will stop and chain 1, turn your work the next row. So basically make sure that you have the same number of stitches for every tier as previously when going up on all these tiers. So be very, very accurate on your tiers, because it will show when you have missed out any stitches once you are at the end of your rows. Okay, so let me meet you once you have all your stitches leveled down and you have 20 stitches or the same number of stitches that you had when starting the project, and there I'll show you what to do next. And right here I have all my tiers worked, as you can see. So please make sure that they are on the same level and you have the very same number of stitches for ones you started and the ones you have right here. So I say 20 stitches here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So that means we are on the right track. All right. So now we are going to be working the bit of our top that goes all the way at the back, like just below your armpits, all the way to wrap around the back. So you're just going to be chaining one and working one single crochet into every stitch until you come to the end of the row right here. So this is where our breast is going to go and this is where the strap will go. And here you're just going to work a length that can go to the back of, be like the back of your top. So basically I'm going to let you guys work that and I'm going to get back once you have the number of rows you desire for the coverage of your back complete. But keep in mind this is stretchy, so it can stretch out, so don't work so many rows. I'm going to get back and show you what to do. So here I am with my rows complete. I didn't work many of them. So I'm going to be working little holes for where my lace is going to pass on this row, okay? So I'll insert my hook, chain one, turn my work. I'm going to work one single crochet into the very first stitch right there. Here I'll chain one, skip one, work one single crochet into the next stitch, work a single crochet in the next stitch as well, do the very same for the next, and then now you're going to chain one, skip one, work a single crochet into the next stitch, and then work 3 single crochets into the next 3 stitches. Right there, and I'll chain one, skip one, work 4 single crochets into the next 4 stitches. Chain one, skip one, work 1 single crochet in the next stitch, work 1 in the next, and then now we are going to chain one and skip 1 stitch, then work a single crochet into the last stitch. So there we have it. We have made chain gaps for our lace or closure for the back. You see that? So basically you just try to make sure that your lace goes through, or you find the holes. I want them little because if you make huge ones, it's going to like mess up our work. So that is it. So I'm going to cut my yarn and I will weave in my end. So this is what it looks like, and now I'm going to work my strap. So I'll get my yarn. I have to work the strap on top. At the tier that I said that is at the top or the peak right there. So I'll just find my way into the single crochet post right there and yarn over, pull through yarn. I'm going to make sure I am taking these 2 strands at the same time, and right there I will work 2 chains. You can just work several chains, but if you're looking for it's hard to get through, so if you're looking for a thicker strap, you will yarn over and find your way into that single crochet post once again, work a double crochet. Don't care about the ends, try to weave them in, and then later get back and cut off the end that is peeping. Chain 2, turn your work. All right, and work 1 double crochet into the chain 2 that you left previously, that you worked previously. There you go. So chain 2, turn your work a double crochet on top of the chain 2. Okay, so just keep doing this until you have a very long strap that can go all the way to the back, and then go through the chain gaps that we worked for our closure. All right, so this is for those that are looking for a thicker strap, and this is very good for those working for a size large, because you need a thick strap to like hold up your breasts. But then if you're working for sizes small and you feel like this is very time consuming, you can just work chains over the single crochet post. So yes, just make sure this is long enough. Get back, cut this peeping end out, and you are going to now get to follow the very same procedure and steps we have worked from start to finish to work your second piece. And I'm going to get back. I'm going to get back and show you what to do next once you have 2 pieces complete. Just make sure your strap is long enough. It can go through all the way to the back, and also make the closure right here, the crisscross closure. So I'm going to get back and show you what to do. As you can see, I have my 2 pieces complete. This will go to the left and the other is going to go to the right, just like that. So I'm just going to make sure the 2 are facing each other. So like I have my 2 foundation chains pieces for each complete, as you can see, left and right complete. So I'm going to stitch these 2 together. Get my yarn needle. I will just lay them over the other, make sure the ends are even, and I'll get my yarn needle. So I'm going to just make sure there is yarn in the eyelet. 2 pieces to hand sew them together from the very first stitch. The upper stitch, right? And I'm going to just hand sew going down. I just want to hand sew going down. I feel it's better that way rather than going up, because it's easier for me to have the ends weaved in. Okay, so I'm just going to lay these over. I'm going to lay these ends over so that I hand sew them underneath. All right, just like that. And I'm going to keep hand sewing through every stitch on both pieces until I get down below. That's where I'm going to meet you and then show you how it has turned out, and the final piece on the dummy, so you can see exactly how this turns out if you're using size 4 yarn. So this is my seam, and this is how it looks like on the outside. It actually looks seamless. If you can see, so this is the good thing about hand sewing. It will look seamless. Okay, so my ends are perfectly done, and into these chain gaps, that's where your straps will go. And finally, this is how it looks like on the dummy, and the tutorial for this hooded neck warmer is also available on my channel. Thank you so much. Bye.